Hello Reborners, my name is Karen and this is Making Dolls with Karen. We're back with little Aspen and Leif. They look pretty good. They're coming along right nicely and we're ready to put some more color on them. We're going to move on to the warm blush. And we're going to try to put at least one coat on. I'm not sure until I see how it looks on them if I want to put a second coat. The 05 was good. It was spot on the right color when it got finished, and at least to me it is. You get used to what that looks like, and so you can just tell that it's going to be enough, or it's not going to be enough, whichever the case may be. Let me put that up. Anyway, I'm thinking I might put 2 coats on them of this, and then 2 coats of the red as well. The blush, the regular blush. Not sure yet. It's kind of up in the air. I might try something new that I've always said don't do, and that's switch colors after I hit them with the heat gun to dry them, because I think they need a little more red in their face. I mean, they got red in their face, don't get me wrong, but it's so dim that you can't hardly see any of it. They don't look blushed really. They just look normal. I mean, like a non-preemie baby would look, is what I'm trying to say. But I'm thinking of leaving them bald, so I want to have the best color I can get on them, because their head's not going to really have any hair, so we need a lot of color on them so they don't look so weird. I don't know if I can even make myself leave them bald. I might leave them bald and then decide later, hey, I'm going to put hair on them, That's certainly something that could happen. But they got their bake. Oops, I missed a spot. They got their bake last night, and today they're perfectly cool, so I can do all of them straight in a row and then hit them with the heat gun and do another coat. Try to get them as dry as possible so I don't have to heat gun them for too long. They'll dry a little bit. If you notice when I am hitting them with the heat gun, the first few pieces, while I'm doing them, the other pieces are still having a little more time to dry, and they take a lot less time because they had a little bit more time to dry. So here we go. There is his head. I'm just going to sit it down over here, if I can let it go. There we go, Leif. And now we'll do her. Do them a little different this time. I'll try to get their correct parts in the oven with them too, because if I decide to make one of them darker than the other or anything like that, you want the correct limbs that you're going to use with that doll to also have that color. It's just something you need to do just to keep your babies straight if you're doing 2 at a time, which I don't recommend unless you're making twins and you want to make them exactly the same. And they're still going to have minor little differences because, well, first of all, Aspen and Leif have different colored vinyls. At least these 2 do. I don't know about the sleeping Aspen. I'm hoping to get one in the future to make with my other Leif I have. And then they could be quadruplets, I guess. But chances are I'm not going to remember what I did to these babies. So I'm not going to remember to do that to the others. So they won't be the same color probably. I don't know. It's really hard to, I wanted to make triplets. I really wanted to just have Aspen awake and Aspen asleep and Leif, but I couldn't get an Aspen asleep. Long sold out, and I hear, I don't know if it's really true, through the baby group that they're having trouble with their factories. And so that might mean it's going to be a while before any dolls start hitting. But you know what? They posted something one time, and it was called, why does it take so long to get kits in? And they were talking about it takes 30 days to manufacture one run of one doll. And I have imagined, well, where did I leave my water? I am so, so thirsty. I imagine that the factory has more than one line and they can run more than one doll at a time. And then it takes 30 days. They load the boat, and I don't think it I don't think it leaves until it's full. So they have to wait about another 30 days for that. And then when it gets in, it takes the Bountiful Baby employees who do the inspections 30 days to get through one whole inspection process. And so that's like 90 days just to get the doll a sellable doll that you can buy. And they have been out for quite a while. I don't know if it amounts to 90 days, but they're trying to keep people's interest by putting one or two kits on a special sale, and then those are selling out because they're cheap. They had Martin Awake and Asleep. I don't know if yesterday they had it. I don't know if they still have it today or not, but I haven't checked. But he's not real popular, I don't think. He doesn't sell real good. The Sleeping Martin isn't too bad, but I don't like that Awake Martin at all. And I don't know. There's some people that just don't like Awake dolls at all. I've heard a lot of people comment in the baby group, I only do sleeping dolls because that's all I like and stuff like that. So, I don't know. I don't know. Why? Some people think the sleeping dolls look more realistic, and they sort of do. It's the eye openings and stuff. They have to make a different expression on the baby's face than just a blank stare, like a sleeping doll. I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to say. I'm just trying to say they're different. And some people just don't like the open eyes. Several people in the doll group are trying to figure out why they don't make eyes that open and close. Well, I don't think that would work on these dolls because of the eye sockets and stuff. It's not like I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. It's not like they're factory-made dolls and you can just insert eyes that open and close, and they would look extremely fake, I think. For people who want realism, that would not look real, I don't think. I used to have lots of dolls when I was a little girl, and almost all of them had eyes that open and closed. Lay them down, the eyes closed, you pick them up, the eyes open. But they never looked real. Nothing close to it either. This layer adds a lot of color to your doll. That's why I only usually put one coat. The color of it is sort of orangey looking to me. And we don't want to turn our doll orange, but we do want to give them that warmed up look, And this is a warmer blush. That's why they call it warm blush, I guess. I don't know. It's just puts that darker skin tone on the doll that makes them look like they're not so pale. And we're going to be going over these parts again. But anyway, because I'm trying to make darker babies, I'm thinking I might put two coats on. This is lightish. It looks super dark in the jar because Gemini paint is like that. It looks way darker than it goes on the doll to look like. And something about the way the pigments are or something. And you get used to that. You can just look at it and go, yeah, that's too dark, or yeah, that's too light, or yeah, that's just right, Just by looking in the jar, you can tell. All that noise you hear behind me, the washing machine's going, the dishwasher's going. And as soon as the washing machine stops and I put the clothes in the dryer, I'll have to start another load, and I think there'll be three things going behind me. I'm kind of in the corner of the kitchen. These apartments were originally made for extended stay, like business class people who had to stay for an extended period of time in another city, and they wanted their families to go with them, and so they included what looks like a small business center, a desk type thing where they could have their computer and stuff and do some work, I guess. And well, they were not popular. This is too small of a town to support something like that, so they just changed them to everyday apartments. And so that's what is in the kitchen. Over in the corner a little bit is a business center, and that's where I'm doing my work, on this little business center area, just a little nook kind of in the kitchen. And so we can hear all of these appliances running. Oh wait, this is getting, where do I put the next piece, you know? It's a little crowded on this tiny little table to be able to make two dolls at once. Oh, there it is. I don't know, I might have to do another whole section to re-blush them. I don't know if I can make myself put blush on top of this. I just don't think it's a good idea. I'm gonna have to change my dirty table again. Ugh. It's a never-ending battle trying to keep your table clean. And I'm kind of lazy, so I just don't do it enough. I don't change my paper towels. I just moved to a cleaner spot to put my dolls out. But keep your table clean. It's just so much easier to work with a clean table. For one thing, you don't have to worry about that it's going to touch anything wet and get a mark on it. And don't lay your pieces on the table. It's not a good idea. I got used to doing it because I could never reach my drying rack because of things were on it, or it was in an awkward place, or I don't know. Something was keeping me from using my drying rack all the time. And so I got used to just gently laying them on the table, and now I just don't even bother to try to use it. Oh, I'm so fickle. That took right at 15 minutes just to put the paint on 2 dolls. I'm going to grab my drink so I can not turn into sandpaper mouth and not be able to get my words out because my tongue is stuck to the roof of my mouth. And then I'm going to be right back and we're going to hit them with the heat gun a little. Okay, I'm back. Got my water. Got to get a little bit of a sip of it. Super thirsty. Okay, here we go, heat gun. We're gonna start. We'll try to do it in the same order I baked. I painted them in, but I might not get it exactly right. We'll start with Leif's little head. He looks almost dry. Yeah, as you're using the heat gun, some of the pieces are getting dry all by themselves. Now, during this whole process, I was thinking about, do I want to put another coat of this color on? I think I do, but I think before I do, I want to bake them. So what I'm going to do instead of putting another coat on right now is I'm going to work on their enhancements a little bit. Yes, I know it's a different color on top, but it's just an enhancement, so it's not a whole layer over the whole entire doll. So I'm going to risk it. So, oh, I'm kind of scared to risk it, but here we go. We're going to risk it. I want to put a little more blue and stuff on their feet. See, like this foot, you can see the blue really good. And the red is a little bit darker than, say, this foot. And Aspen's took it better. These are Aspen's feet. They took it better than Leif's feet. It's a difference in the vinyl and the way that it's made, and the fact that it doesn't really have an arch in it. So I'm going to try my best to touch it up a little bit and just get it a little further down the road on that. Let's see. Do I have a brush that even has any red in it? I don't know. That looks pretty good. Much better. I'm going to do Leif's other foot. See, I'm just touching up some of their... Oops, that's the wrong color. I shouldn't even be putting that color there. It's supposed to be blue. Don't forget to switch your paintbrush before you start painting red over your blue. His feet just aren't as good, I don't think. I just don't think they are. I don't like them as much. She's got cuter feet. Now, let's see. This is Aspen's hand. So one of these is hers. This is it. This one's way redder than this one. I want to try to touch that up a little. Well, I just don't want one hand to be super dark and one to be super light. So I'm just going to sort of paint over it a little more red. It's not getting much redder, but oh well. About as good as we're going to do, I think. This is going to help them look a little better at the end, I think. And then when we come back from the bake, I'll put another coat of that on if I still think we need it. After all the enhancements, I might decide we don't need it. Let's get his hands a little bit darker too. I don't know, it's not going to do it. It's just out of, it's out. I don't know where to put it. It needs dipping. Oh, crap. Okay, just put it back in there. That's a little better. A slight dab on that. And then this one. Slight dab on that one too. Okay, now another thing is the face. I think that the face needs a lot more blush because this is the lightest blush I've ever put on a doll, it seems like, anyway. And usually the blush is really dark on their face and you can see it really well, but Aspen is not taking color very well. Some kind of bug. And she's not going to look blushy, I don't think. Now this is going to be diminished by somewhat by the baking process, so I don't feel like it's too much. In fact, I don't feel like it's enough. nose is itching. I like using these smaller brushes for the ears because you can just really just get the ear. Just the ear. Instead of all around the ear too. Okay, that looks pretty good. We'll let that do. Let's see if I can spruce him up a little. Well, this one's about out of paint already. Let me put it right there. Get another one. Some of these are way wetter than other ones because I just dipped them. I wasn't expecting to have to use them already. I was expecting to wait till the next doll to use them, but surprise, I have to use them now. That looks better. Let's see if we can blush his face up a little more. Out of paint. Yeah, they look better now, I think. Much blushier. I don't know if you can tell, but they're much blushier. And now I'm going to do a little bit to their lips and nails if they need it. Blue. There we go. And then we'll be ready to put them in the oven. And when we come back, we'll make the decision about the next coat of warm blush. I think we're probably going to go with it, but I'm not sure. So here we go. I'm just going to touch up their nails a little bit. I don't need much, I don't think. I know this hand needs a little dabbing. It's just a little gooey looking. Okay, there we go. Me and my shaky hands. I want to take as many steps as I need to make them look good. I'm going to try to sell them together as twins, but I will offer the option to buy one or the other. You know, you can put it in the listing. Twins, this much. Just one doll, this much, you know. And, I think I'm going to list them that way because, well, some people don't want to pay the price to get twins. I don't make them double the price, but like, let's say you were going to ask $300 each for them. Instead of $600, you'd make them $500. That would be a savings because you're buying two. I mean, to me, that would be fair, I think. Those nails look pretty good, except one of them. Okay. The hands is the ones that don't look so good because the hands have been painted really dark pink, and so it makes the nails pale in comparison. The nails should be darker than the hands, I think. It's a little bit hard to get that look when you're putting so much blush onto the hands themselves. It's hard to have the nails look like they're actually nails. They just look like colored fingers. I don't know. touching the pieces. And then later we'll tip the nails. Since I learned how to do it, I like it. I never really wanted to try because I thought it would be too hard. I did try once, but my mistake was that I thought you're supposed to make the paint thin like you do the layers, and it just ran off, and I thought, well, that's stupid. I can't even get it on there. I'll just skip that part, and I've been skipping it for a long, long time. And it's hard to, after you've been so many years doing things one way, to change your ways and do it some other way. It's really hard for me anyway, because I don't like change. I don't like to flip-flop back from one method to another, so I don't change. I try to keep my same way of painting, my same kind of... I did have to change from, and it really did upset me, from Genesis to Gemini. But the Gemini's pretty good. I'm getting used to the blush even. And hopefully in the future I'll just be so used to it, it'll be like, you know, second hand or something. Now this is the time that I would also put a scratch on the doll. I'm thinking about giving Leif a scratch, but don't give Aspen one. It's just too coincidental that they both scratch themselves at the same time. Or maybe she scratched him. I don't know. That is one messy nail, let me tell you. Some of these nails are very messy looking. I must have let it touch something and it smudged it. Okay, let's give Leif his lips back. His lips don't look bad, they just need to be slightly darker. Just very slightly. I don't want him to have super red lips or anything, but they're just a little pale to me. I'm also noticing right now that I've been neglecting to build up the color in his nose. He has such a superficial nose to begin with. It just really needs some color, because if it doesn't get any, it's gonna show, because it's just shallow. The ones that have really deep noses, it's like they don't show as much because you'd have to turn the doll pretty much upside down to see it. But he barely has an inside to his nose, barely. So there's that. So that's better. I like some color in their lips. Sit up, Leif. Come on. You were sitting up before. You're on a lump or something. Aspen's just not as pretty. I think she was made at another factory. I don't like her sculpt. But they're twins, so I thought I'd make them together. I do, however, think her closed-eyed version is much, much nicer looking. I just wish I had one. That is freaky looking. She has a freaky looking mouth, I think. But there it is. So they're ready to go in the oven now. So we're going to get them in the oven now. So I'm going to ask everybody to please like, subscribe, and share. And happy reborning.